Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Phoenix Podcast with me, Jen Coffey, along for the ride as you enter into your Phoenix rising era, where you want to be, where you dream of being, where you intend to be, where you're meant to be. As you can see, where I am is quite different than the venue from which I've been podcasting since the podcast began. I am coming to you now from Zug, Switzerland. If you listened a couple of podcasts ago, you know that my life took some pretty big twists and turns, all for the better. And I will be coming to you from this small apartment for the next 5 or 6 episodes. It is spare but lovely, and I have so been enjoying what so far has only been a couple of days in Switzerland, but I did a live stream this morning, a meditation by a beautiful lake with mountains in the background. The people have been so kind and understanding of my lack of linguistic prowess, and it's just really been great. So I look forward to sharing my adventures on social media with you, but for now, most importantly in this moment, sharing further thoughts that I hope will help lift you and facilitate your blossoming into what you want to be, what you want out of life. And I'm going to pivot this week just a little bit from talk of the law of attraction and manifestation. My intent actually is over the weeks, the months, the years to branch out into a lot of different areas, all of them with the same goal and purpose of encouraging you and making you feel good. And so that encompasses a lot more than just talking about the dreams that we have for the future. And it should involve discussions about how we feel right now and even how we felt in the past and things that I've learned. But in this episode, it's a discussion about what I know for sure about you. And that may come across sounding very presumptuous because if ideally there are many of you listening, how can I possibly know for a fact really anything about you? Well, without actually getting too general, there are several things that I know for sure about you because they are true for you, for me, for virtually every person that's out there. And by sharing this with you, I hope to help you get to know yourself better, because while we think we know ourselves better than anybody else, and really when you get down to it, you do, that doesn't mean that you know everything about yourself. And it certainly doesn't mean that you immediately give yourself grace about yourself. We look at ourselves through very critical lenses, and that's all in an effort to make ourselves stronger, to make ourselves better. But we know, of course, that that can go awry. So I'm going to count off a few things that I know about you, and I hope you'll listen with an open mind and not in this being like in the context of a lecture. Instead, it's ultimately there to make you feel better. And the reason I have pivoted to this topic, it was not initially intended to be my topic for this week, but as of the day of this recording, we are less than 24 hours out of some distressing news, global news. And as I say that, I think kind of humorously, isn't it? It's really not funny when you think about it, but it is ironic. I don't know, choose your word. I could say that almost any day these days, and you would immediately go, oh, that news, right? I could say this 6 months ago, and you would probably say, oh, that news, right? It seems like now more than ever, there is an enormous amount of distressing news that is on television, on social media, overheard on the bus. It's everywhere. And I guess technically that's always been the case, but it feels stronger now, doesn't it? It feels more deeply impactful now. The news that I'm referencing this time is the economy and tariffs and price hikes and stock market crashes and 401ks plummeting and what's the future of Social Security. If you have listened to me over the years, and certainly in my time on television, you know that I don't really go there that often. Politics is not an area that I care to dive deep into. And if you need that, there's plenty of podcasts for it. But you can't stick your head in the sand and talk about feeling good or feeling better if you don't address the fact that a lot of the news out there is negative. And so I bring it up because I found myself waking up this morning, looking at the news, scrolling Instagram, and feeling awful, feeling gross, feeling anxious. And of course, when I feel myself feeling that way, no man is an island. I know that means a lot of other people are feeling the same way too, to varying degrees. But frankly, that's irrelevant, because what feels strongly for you is your truth, your circumstances. And so whether or not someone else may feel the pain in a different way or stronger, what you feel is important. And what you feel as imminent or is spiking your anxiety, that should be addressed. And that's important. And it is valid. And you are deserving of feeling all those feelings. But I hope in exploring some of these things that I know about you, that you may come out on the other side and realize you're better equipped for this than you think, even if you think you're very equipped already. So as we dive a little deeper, of course, I love my quotes. So the quote that I've chosen for this particular podcast, I had to go and search for it because I remember hearing it or reading it or a variant of it online. And so I went back and I found it. And again, it's longer than one sentence, so I'm going to have to read it off my phone. The quote goes like this: "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." And maybe you kind of already knew this, or you've known it for a really long time. I didn't know this for a very long time. And I don't know where it originates, but for me, courage was it was like what the hero in the movie had, or heroes that you hear about through, urban myth, or how their legends evolve over oral history. And courage is this just complete lack of fear and going forward and knowing that you're going to succeed. And I clearly didn't have that, because for as long as I can remember, I've been scared to the bone. And that's true to this day. Anytime I move forward in a new adventure or a task, I'm afraid. And that, it does not make me special. It definitely places me in the majority. And it wasn't until really, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago that I started realizing and learning that that definition of courage is completely false and exists only in comic books and movies. That actual courage is feeling scared to the bone and doubting yourself and having imposter syndrome and panicking about the future and still moving forward, even with your hands shaking and your voice cracking and tears in your eyes. So carry that quote with you as I take you through some of the things that I know about you, and see if you can't take that knowledge with you, even if it's just a reminder, like something you knew already, as you move forward in this week and next week, because there's always going to be bad news. And I don't say that to bring you down. I say that to strengthen you, specifically because of the first thing that I know about you, which I'll tell you in a second. But first, I think it was last week that I forgot to mention this until the very end, so I'm not going to make that mistake this week. I just want to remind you that in addition to doing these podcasts and chatting with you about the law of attraction, manifestation, wellness, living your best life, I enjoy this podcast so much. But as a self-sponsor of my podcast, I have to let you know that what I've really been enjoying as much as this, if not more, are my one-on-one coaching sessions that I've been having with listeners like you, with people who have followed me on my journey for a long time, or maybe just heard about me yesterday. If you are curious about how manifestation, the law of attraction, can actually turn your life around, or at the very least, give you focus and clarity on the goals that you have right now, I'd love to chat with you and learn more about your specific desires and goals and the obstacles that you feel you have in the way of achieving those. My coaching sessions are about an hour long, and I tailor them specifically to your life situation and the information that you give me in a questionnaire that I send to you. And we spend time laying out a blueprint of what actions and thoughts you can have and take as you move forward to making all your biggest dreams come true. So if you are curious about one-on-one coaching, send me an email. It's Jennifer@jennifercoffey.com. I try to make it as easy as possible. Jennifer@jennifercoffey, COFFEY.com. And let's meet. Let's chat. I've had some great experiences and some great feedback and reviews, and I'd love to be a part of your Phoenix Rising era. All right, let's chat now about 5 things I know about you and what you can do with this knowledge, this information, this insight that hopefully I can give you about yourself, even if we've never met in person or even virtually. Number 1, what I know about you is that you have been through a lot. And it could be one of the following, it could be all of the following. My suspicion is that it's all of the following, because as human beings in our own hero's journey, we have almost certainly been through the following: betrayal, being let down, disappointed by someone you really didn't think it was possible to get that feeling from. Whether it's cheating in a relationship, or a betrayal of trust in a friendship, or a promise made by a work colleague or boss and completely doubling back on that promise. Betrayal is a difficult feeling, and I suspect you've been through that. Heartbreak, whether it's you breaking up with somebody or vice versa, feeling that feeling of your heart ripped in two and how could it ever be mended. We've felt that. You felt that. Hopelessness. Really, what can the future hold that shows promise? That feeling of looking into the future and seeing only a void. You've been there. Worry. I know everyone's experienced that. I know you've experienced that. You're probably experiencing it today. I know I did. It's a human reaction, sometimes to nothing. Everything could be perfect and we feel worry. But for all of us, at some point, that worry has been so overwhelming and oppressive that it puts a filter over our eyes and our heart, and we can barely see past it. Self-doubt, and dare I say even sometimes self-loathing. We've been there. Imposter syndrome, disappointment in ourselves. How could I do that? How could I not do that? Am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I thin enough? We've been there. Am I qualified enough? I know this about you. So what? What do we do with that information? Well, let's reframe it. I know that you've been there or are there now. And you have survived and thrived through all of that. You go out into the world and you smile. You go out into the world and you work hard and you love hard and you lift people up with your words and your actions. Even when you're in those feelings of worry, of heartbreak, of self-doubt, you still power on. And then when those feelings have subsided, you take what little energy you have left and you rebuild. And you've done that 1,000 times. So what I know about you is that you've suffered hard, either as a child, an adolescent, an adult, a adult 2.0. And here you are, still strong, still going. And you will again. I know that about you. And you should be proud of that. And it means that right now, if you are feeling lost and hopeless and afraid and scared, while I can't say anything to take away the circumstances right now, what I can tell you is that I know you've been there and you've thrived and you will do it again. In fact, that leads me to number 2 that I know about you. I know that you are fully equipped right now to achieve everything you want in your life, to make every dream come true. But if we dial it back just a little bit, I know you are fully equipped to ride the waves you're in right now. And that's not just me hyping you up and saying, come on, girl, you're strong, you can do this. That's true. Okay, we know that. We're cool. What I'm saying is that you've got the tools inside of you right now, some of which you haven't even discovered yet, that are going to not just have you come out the other side of whatever you're dealing with and still be breathing. You're going to come out the other side and be so proud of who you were and who you are now. So what are these tools that I'm talking about? Well, I've been talking about them already in these podcasts, that ability to focus on the positive and to be grateful, that ability to be very clear about your intentions and what you want, to have the shameless expectation that what you want will be realized. And yes, that strength that you've proven already. You are fully equipped right now, even with a very lean bank account, if that's the case, even with a broken heart, if that's the case, even with a broken body, if that's the case, and with hopelessness and fear and self-doubt, you still have all the tools inside of you. Do you know why? Because they never go away. They feel like they do sometimes, but they're always there. The universe, God, higher power, put those tools inside of you and they cannot be extracted. You can forget they're there every once in a while, but they're always there. I know this about you. You've done it before and you can do it again. Number 3, let's take it to its next logical conclusion as we're in moments of confusion and fear and checking that 401k and seeing that it's gone down, or getting the layoff notice and feeling unmoored and betrayed. Here's what I know about you. You will find a soft place to land. And I don't just mean the new job, if that's what's needed. And I don't just mean money in your bank account, if that's what's needed. What I mean is, I know that in the future, whether it is immediately tomorrow or a year from now, you will look back and realize that a path was already laid between you and your intention, what we've been talking about, and higher power, listening to your intention and putting the bricks in place. You can't see it yet because we can't see into the future. But remember our quote from a couple of weeks ago. Faith means trusting in advance. What only makes sense in reverse? I'm not saying that it's not going to be hard And I'm not saying that it's not going to be painful sometimes, or confusing, or very frustrating. But you will find that soft place to land because you're different now. You have clear intentions. You have determination. You know that you are loved. You love yourself. And if not, we're working on that. And with those tools, there they are, you won't just happen upon a soft place to land. You're building it with your thoughts right now. Indulging the feelings of hopelessness and fear and anger when they are strong and they need to be felt, but coming back home to the knowledge and the determination that you have always landed before with the wings you built on the way down, and you're doing it again. The cycle repeats itself, but you're different each time. You're smarter, you're stronger, you're clearer of mind, and you know what you deserve. And what you deserve is everything you want. Fourth thing that I know about you. And some of you may roll your eyes and go, no, Jen, that's not true. And I still know you're wrong. And I don't say that in a snarky or cocky way. I say it because it's the truth. People look up to you. I know this is true. I actually don't know many people who go around all day long saying, I admire you. I respect you. I look up to you. I love so many things about you. I stole that thing you said the other day, and I used it because it's good. People don't often just go around saying that, right? And if they said it all day long, frankly, it would exhaust people, and you'd question their authenticity. But it doesn't mean that all of us aren't walking around thinking those thoughts. You think them yourself, don't you? There are people that you admire. Maybe you've told them it in a way once or twice. Maybe you've never told them at all. I know there are people I admire that I never have told them, either because I've never met them in person or because it just kind of felt awkward and weird. I can tell you there are coworkers of mine at QVC, hosts even, that I've taken their phrases and I've used them again. A couple of them I've told them, hey, I robbed that thing you said, right? There are ways that people dress that I admire and I mimic. There are means of body language, ways of expressing confidence that I've admired, particularly in women. And I go, oh, I'm going to do that, right? I love the way she carries herself. People are thinking that about you. There are people that you passed on the street one day and they looked into your eyes and felt something about you and were inspired by you. And you can poo-poo this all you want. I know it's true. There are so many people who look up to you, with whom you work, within your family, your friends, people whose lives you've touched, and as the butterfly effect goes, they've never changed back since they met you, for the better. I know that people look up to you and admire you. Can you start to do that with yourself a little? If you were to pass yourself on the street, and then a few minutes later, I stopped you and said, tell me some nice things about that person, what would you say? Either about your appearance, the way you carry yourself, a fact that you know about yourself, a strength that you have, a talent that you have. Are you a compassionate person? Are you articulate? Are you more of an observer? A shy person even? But when you open your mouth, it's gold. Are you the extrovert in the bunch? Are you the one who brings people together and helps them to make friends? As Kramer says, the straw that stirs the drinks. Is that you? Are you the life of the party? Do you have a great sense of humor? Do you have a weird sense of humor that makes people go, wait, that was funny? Do you speak a second language? Can you read? I know you can. Even that is impressive. Think about all of the talents that you have that you take for granted just because other people have them too. It doesn't make it any less of a talent. You are talented, you are worthy of respect, and you are respected by people whom you've probably never met. And I think that's lovely. But I hope you can turn the tables on that and seek out and find the reasons to respect and admire yourself. Would be a lovely thought exercise for today. And number 5, I saved my favorite for last. The you of the future is proud of you. Now, what does this mean? So let's think instead of you right now. It's easy. Go into your mind and imagine yourself. Well, I can't give a specific number because I don't know how old you are, but let's think many years back to when you were a child, 7, 8, 9 years old. Are you proud of that little girl or that little boy? Are you proud of that child for teaching themselves a lot of things that the grown-ups didn't teach them? Are you proud of them for surviving their bully or bullies? Are you proud of them for still doing all that homework and still managing to find time for play? Are you proud of them for having that imagination to play with? Are you proud of them for likely witnessing some things that children shouldn't have to see? Fights among parents, bad behavior by adults, the news on TV. Are you proud of them for witnessing all of that and still turning into a loving and compassionate adult? You're proud of the you of the past. What about the you who entered into the job market? Are you proud of them for hustling, for working that miserable job? You know the one I'm talking about. Because everybody has that miserable job. Whether it was an ungrateful one in a customer service capacity where people just frankly crap on you all the time. Been there. Was it in a situation where bosses were abusive or even harassing? Been there. Were you scared in those first few jobs? Did you have a period where you really doubted your career path and you pivoted, much to everyone else's chagrin and dismay? Are you proud of that person for being scared and doing it anyway? For dealing with all of the, again, crap that the customers, that the bosses subjected you to? Are you proud of her? Are you proud of her for working hard, doing what needed to be done to put food on the table? You should be. I am. You're proud of that person from the past. Well, the person you are now, you know, the one that you're doubting and criticizing and maybe hiding a little bit because you're scared. Regardless of that, the you of the future, you 20 years from now, is going to look back on the you of now and be hella proud. Why? Well, for the same reasons you're proud of the child and the young woman or young man entering the workforce. Because they're strong, they're resilient, they insist on finding ways to make themselves feel good, to be smarter, to still grow and learn no matter what age they are. How is the you right now any different, if not better, than the you of the past that you're so proud of? The only way in which you're different is that you're even stronger and smarter and determined. The you of the future, I know, is proud of the you now. So can we go ahead and be proud of ourselves now? There's no reason not to. And that pride, I don't mean the sinful kind where you disregard others and become the only person in the universe. That's not what I mean. Instead, it's the kind of pride that makes you believe in yourself because it's based in truth. And that truth is, you've always been strong and you've always been smart. So that you of the future who will be proud, maybe make them even more proud by being proud of yourself now. Those are 5 things that I know about you, for sure, even if we've never met yet. And if you think about those, I hope they make you believe in yourself a little bit more, not in a lofty or fanciful way, all based in truth. As a bonus, I hope you remember that all of those things are true about everybody else you're going to meet. Even if they tick you off, even if they've hurt you, it's true for all of them too. And that knowledge is where compassion grows stronger. And that compassion, we need it now more than ever. As we are scrolling through social media, as we are road raging, as we are doubting the good in humanity, it's still there. Because that truth is true for everyone. And they're all struggling too. And if we can unite in that, oddly, it can generate more love. And there's plenty of room for more of that. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I've enjoyed making it in sunny Switzerland. And I look forward to sharing more of our time together here. Do please follow me on social media. I do the bulk of my posts on Instagram at Jennifer Coffey, but I'm on Facebook too, Jennifer Coffey Style. And I'll also be sharing meditations on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube, big favor, hit the subscribe button so that you can get notified when new videos come up. But if nothing else, I hope to see you virtually next week. Have a wonderful day.